All right, for more reaction, here is our Edmonton Bureau Chief Ryan Rishaug for another exciting edition of Beside One Reporter. What a roller coaster ride, Shoggy, for Connor McDavid in overtime. The 4-minute penalty right at the beginning of the first OT. He gets robbed by Jake Oettinger at the end of the first OT. Then he scores at 32 seconds into the double OT. Can you just talk about this? And I loved his reaction afterward. He was just like, oh, yeah, it was nice to score in overtime. Like he's just so nonchalant about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. He did apologize for keeping everybody up 15 minutes later than we all needed to be. Had he been able to bury that one, we'd all be in bed right now. But what I thought was interesting, Jay, is after that penalty kill, Connor McDavid came out of the box, and then there was a whistle right away. He went over and high-fived all of the players on the bench, and in particular the penalty killers that were part of that massive kill in overtime. He really, really appreciated it. I loved his answer. He said he hated every second of sitting in that penalty box during that 4-minute penalty. But it was an adventurous night, right? Definitely was. He takes the 4 minutes. Sure, Duchesne was holding his stick, and Connor wasn't happy with the call. Fair enough. But then the amazing chance to score in overtime, too. I mean, McDavid buries that thing 10 out of 10 times most of the time, but doesn't in this one. And so we all take that extra 15-minute break. They took all the food out of the press box. The popcorn was gone. The water was locked up. There were no more snacks. We were all grumpy up there. And luckily, he finished it off right away. So McDavid gets it done early in the second overtime. But he said he would have had a hard time sleeping, Jay, if they hadn't have won and he hadn't have done that. So got a little cherry on top of an interesting night, full circle for 97.
The fact they took away that popcorn, that is just wrong. That is just not right for you guys. That's poor working conditions.
I know.
A lot of talk, Ryan, going into this series about the goalie matchup potentially being lopsided simply because Jake Oettinger has just been so terrific this postseason. And yet, Stuart Skinner, man, he came to play in Game 1.
Yeah, for sure. I was asked today what's Stuart Skinner going to have to do for the Oilers to win this series. And my answer was, be better than he's been to this point. That might seem like I'm being a little hard on Stuart Skinner, and I don't necessarily mean it that way, but bottom line, Stu Skinner, like the rest of this team, had to find a different level. And tonight he did, Jay. Early on in this game, a couple of massive saves. He was so steady in there, and he talked about how much those early saves helped him find his groove, and he was rock solid in there. So all the talk about him versus Oettinger tonight, well, he out-dueled Oettinger and gets a huge win here in game number 1. He had a bump in the first round and he recovered. He had a bump in the second round and lost the net. He got another chance to get back in and he did well with it. He played well in 6 and 7, but we were still a little unsure coming into this round, of which way it was going to go with Skinner. And tonight he left no doubt. He has trended in the right direction after that disappointment in the last round. Confident night tonight. I think he needed that. He was better tonight than he had been through parts of the first couple of rounds.
That was the Oilers' first multi-overtime win in the postseason since Game 3 of the 2006 conference semifinals, where they beat the San Jose Sharks in triple OT. Ryan, did you cover that one for us here on The Leader?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was at that one. As I recall, popcorn was fully stocked. We were all well into couple of 7-Ups and popcorns by the time we hit that one. So we were in a little better mood that night.
I love it, and I love that shot at Dallas ownership. They deserve it. Ryan, you're the best. This has been Beside One Reporter.